all is well. VK3CQC, ON80I. You're nearly 10 over 9 in Belgium, over.
Okay. You're 5 by 9 here also. 5 by 9 in central Victoria. And a lovely signal, over.
Yeah, Roger. By the way, Peter, I should have told you. The name is John, over.
Okay, John. I don't know whether we've worked before or not, and if we haven't, well, very nice to meet you, and if we have, hello again. I'm not too good with the computer log. I do enter it, but I still write everything down, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, no problem at all, but it's good to speak with you. I'm just putting your address into Google Maps to see whereabouts in VK you are. So just pressing the search thing, because I have been down to Bendigo. I've been down to well, I always pronounce it wrong, but I've been through Barnsdale, over.
Barnsdale's on the south coast, but we're in central Victoria, probably about 200 or 300 kilometres north of Barnsdale, about 140 kilometres northwest of Melbourne, and about 50 kilometres west of Bendigo, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, the nearest Pete, I've been to you is Beaufort, over.
Okay, yes, I know Beaufort, yes, well, that's all right. Well, you've been pretty close. It's easy drive. So, when was this, John?
Yeah, 1985, over.
Oh, okay, right, 1985. Yeah, well, I remember that year, but it's a while ago. And I've been to Belgium in 2003 and went to the Netherlands in last year, October, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I'm looking at your surname, and I think your people maybe originated from the Netherlands, over.
Well, so did I, John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you've certainly lost the accent. What age were you when you came over? Over.
I was 11 years when we left, and I've been here ever since, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you certainly sound like a dinky-die Aussie, over.
Well, you had to fit in when I was young, and if you didn't, well, you know, things didn't work out too well. So, well, you know, it's all water under the bridge, and it's a long time ago, and it was an exciting trip. And we went back in 2003. I took Jenny, my partner, over, and now we went back. Well, we did a Rhine River cruise and a bus trip from Rome down to Basel, from Basel down to Amsterdam, and then yes, well, that's what we did, over.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, I was when I was in Barnsdale, I stayed with a Dutch family who had come over maybe 30 years before. Well, all the children were like typical Aussies, but the parents still had the accent, of course. So when I was there in Barnsdale, I did some skydiving, over.
Oh, yes. Well, it's a beautiful spot. I like Barnsdale, and it's certainly very nice on that east coast, over.
Yeah, I'm looking at your the mast of the 3-element beam, and that's you're taking no chances with your guys, over.
Well, it was my old ladder. I used it for years to do jobs and antenna work and repair televisions. And then, I retired, and then I thought, I might as well use it. It's 12 metres, the ladder, and I'm using nylon cord with 600 kg braking strain, over.
Yeah, Roger, is that something like Mass Strand, over?
Like what, over?
Yeah, they have one in Europe, which is very well renowned. It's called Mast Strand. Over.
Oh, okay. Well, it's called Grunt here, and it's just nylon fibres inside with a covering, and well, it's rated at 600 grams. So hopefully it'll live up to its name. But one of the I also have lashing wire at the top with the insulator, and one of them has worn through, so I'm going to have to bring it down and repair it. Over.
Yeah, I bet you're not looking forward to that. Over.
No, well, what I do is I put my tractor there beside it, and got some pillars and all that sort of stuff, and I slowly let it down and with rope, and then repair whatever needs to be repaired and hoist it back up again. I don't look forward to it, but only because my antenna's off the air while I'm doing it. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, no, I understand, but you've done a great job. By the way, Peter, I'm using an amplifier that was made in VK. Over.
Oh, very good. So, was it a home brew thing, or is this a commercial unit? Because I don't know of it. Over.
Yeah, it's a commercial one. He's very popular in VK. He's also popular in Europe and also in the States. And his name is Under, from Down Under. He's originally of Turkish origin, and he has a company called the same as his call sign. It's VK3 Amp. Over.
Right, I'm just writing it down. VK3 amp. Well, there you go. I'll have to look that up because I don't know about it. I'm using an Ameritron amp with 400 watts out, and it's hopefully doing its job. And it's not a bad unit. Over.
Yeah, no, it's doing a great job. But at the moment, my power at the moment. I'm just going to switch on my power meter. Yeah, so I'm just waiting. Yeah, about 530 watts. And the great thing about this amp, it's a solid state one, so you can hop around the bands. But of course, you don't have to worry too much about that. Are you active on other bands, Peter? Over.
I'm active both. The antenna is a 3-element mono band or home brew. And on 40, I'm a bit active on 40 in our mornings, and yes, in the mornings, and probably your evening, I'm a bit active on 40 meters direct, and I usually have a bit of success, and it works quite well. I have a double extended zip with open line feeder and a tuner that I use down here. John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well done. I wonder, do you know, and I hear him a lot, and I've spoken to him a few times, VK3CWB, Moz. Do you know him? Over.
VK3CWB, Moz. Not really, no. Whereabouts does he live? Over.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's not so far from you. I'll have a quick look on the QRZ. I never took too much notice of where he transmitted from. Okay, yeah, Mildura. Over.
Did you say Mildura?
Roger.
Okay, yes. Well, it's still 400 k's northwest of here, but it's a nice city. I like Mildura, and it's always not a bad climate. It's dry like us. We are very, very, very dry at the moment, John, and we haven't had much rain for months, and the farmers are screaming for it at the moment. So whereabouts in Belgium are you? ON8PI VK3CQC, over.
Yeah, Roger, on that, Peter. VK3CQC, ON80I for ID. Nice call sign, Peter. I'm about 50 kilometers northeast of Antwerp. I'm in the village of Ham, like Ham Radio, and I'm originally from Echo, India. Over.
Ah, you're Irish, is that correct?
Yeah, 100% Irish. Over.
Oh, very good. Oh, well, you know, we have lots of Irish people in Australia, so, that's very interesting. So, how come I shouldn't be being nosy, but it seems interesting that you moved to Belgium, over?
Yeah, Roger. No, you can ask what you like, Peter. So I don't mind any of those questions. But yeah, I've been all around the Western world, and I did have connections with Belgium. In 1980, Belgium celebrated 150 years of Belgium. They invited young people from the European Union to come to Belgium, celebrate 150 years, and stay with host families. I stayed with a host family, got on very well, kept in contact, did my traveling around, and I was about 4 years in the UK, but I wanted to settle down and buy a house. But the problem was in the south of England, it was well above my budget. So anyway, I came over here in '93, and it's been all good. Over.
Oh, very good. Yes, well, it sounds great. And, well, I mean, my parents did the same thing, I guess. We came over here after the war. About 1957 we came over, and my parents, because they were advertising in Australia, more or less the same thing. Come to Australia, sunny Australia, 6 hours of sunshine a day and all that sort of stuff. So we went, and after a few hassles, we all settled down and went to school here, and I guess you can't go back, and that's the way it is. Anyhow, I wouldn't now. Anyhow, I still enjoy going to the Netherlands and seeing the country, but I couldn't live that in a populated place like that. We got 10 acres here, and I've got a bit of space. So ON8EI VK3CQC, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I totally agree. I've got a little bit of space here. I don't have 10 acres, but I've got a third of an acre in the little village, and that's one of the reasons I bought this house, was to have a little bit of space for the antennas. Over.
Well, that's the same down here, John. Well, we had 40 acres in a place called Garfield, which was sort of closer to Bairnsdale than this is, and also on the highway number 1, which is the same highway but a bit closer to Melbourne. And then the price of land was getting too dear down there as well. So anyhow, I retired, and we got interested in gold detecting, and that's a lot of activity around this place. So that's what we do here, and play a bit of golf. So back to you, John.
Yeah, and I don't need to know your well, anyway, tell me, have you had much success with the gold hunting? Over.
Oh, we find little bits, you know, and no groundbreaking stuff, but we dig for a lot of rubbish, and we do find little bits. And well, the first bit was the best. It was 10 grams, and after that, I haven't been able to repeat it. But it's we still find, you know, 1 gram or under a gram, and lots of point grams of some sort. But you know, it's an interest, and we like it. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, well, you know that it's kind of like DXing or making contacts on the radio. You never know what's going to turn up. Over.
Well, that's absolutely true, and well, it's the same with the gold, as you say. Yeah, and well, I only do about an hour or so. I can't handle any more than that. Then it's time for a coffee and time to go home and have a sit around. I'm getting lazy at the old age, John. Over.
Yeah, no problem. How many turns on the coil? I'm the big 6-0. Over.
Yes, I've been 80 times around. I'm nearly 80 times around the Earth, around the sun, John.
Yeah, well, you sound great. You sound really the real dinky die Aussie. Over.
Oh yes, well, I can still speak Nederlands and Hollands if you want to.
Ja, maar ik spreek liever Engels. Over.
Ja, dat weet ik. Maar je spreekt het wel goed, denk ik, om daar in België zo mee om te gaan, over.
Ja, maar als ik moet, spreek ik. Maar ja, ik spreek meestal Engels in mijn werkomgeving, over.
Okay, yes, well, I suppose you have to speak a bit of the French as well, over.
No, we're well in the Dutch speaking part. So yeah, French doesn't come into the equation. But my wife speaks perfect French, and she's originally from Charlie Novemberland, Morocco. Over.
Oh, okay, righto, yes. I don't think I've had many contacts into Morocco, but, well, we're all from all over the world, and it sounds pretty good to me. If we can live together like that, why can't the rest of the world? But I won't start on that, John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, isn't it a pity that that everyone in the world wasn't good and nice and friendly to each other, over?
Well, maybe they should let the world be ruled by amateurs, over.
Yeah, well, some of them, but anyway, that's another discussion. Yeah, and we have two children. One is 21 and one is nearly 18, so it's a boy. But by the way, Peter, I'm using one of these radios that's running with a computer, over.
Oh, okay. Yes, well, I don't... So it's software defined, I take it, over?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it is. It's I've got two different types. I've got one, a big one. It's from a company called Apache Labs, and it's called the 7000. But the other one, which is a little baby, it's probably the size of maybe 5 or 3 packets of cigarettes side by side. And that one's called a Hermes Light, and both of them, they sound the same. The Hermes Light is a low power one, but I've got it plumbed into a powerful amp. So both of them, if I switched off now and turned on the other one, you wouldn't hear the difference, over.
Oh, very interesting. Yes, well, so obviously the amp doesn't need much drive then, John, over.
Yeah, Roger. So the amp that I'm using now, the VK amp, it's with a 100-watt radio, the 7000. So I think at the moment, I'm just looking at the drive. At the moment, the drive is probably about 12 watts, which is giving me about 530 watts. The other one, the little baby radio, the Hermes Light, 2.5 watts gives me 500, over.
Wow, that's great figures. Well, I'm using about 35 watts of drive to drive the Ameritron into 400 watts. I'm using a ICOM 7000 which turned right down, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it's doing a great job. And just getting back to the gold. So when you're detecting or whatever, are you panning, over?
No, I use a detector. I'm not advertising, but I'm using a MindLab 4500, which is now, well, getting on a bit in years, I guess. They brought out new models since then. But I don't mind it, and my partner uses a 2300, the Mine Lab. You can look them up. And she picks up real small stuff a lot easier than I do. And but you know, we pick up a lot of shotgun pellets from people that have shot rabbits in the olden days. And after I pick up about 5 of them, I have had absolutely enough, especially after digging them up. Over.
Yeah, Roger. And do you use headphones? Over.
Yes, I do. Yes. My hearing's not as good as it used to be, and I use headphones. For my partner, I connected now my mind's starting to go. What do you call it? Bluetooth gadget, and she doesn't have to have a lead, so I put a Bluetooth transmitter on the side of a detector, and use the Bluetooth headphones, and she can use the noise cancelling ones, and it cuts out a lot of noise about scraping the detector over the ground, and she has a lot of success with finding little specks, and well, my smallest bits have been very decayed shotgun pellets, and I can get them a bit, about 3 or 4 inches down. I pick up a pellet, so I'm doing all right. I just need to walk over a bit of gold. John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Of course, the other thing what they do, and you must be familiar with this, is guys that they go down to the beach in the late in the evening or in the early morning. Over.
Oh, okay, yes, well, the beach is a fair way from here. I'd have to travel about, at least 140 k's to go to the beach and take the dirt with me to pan it out. And, look, honestly, John, it's just a hobby to us. We enjoy it, like I say. I came down this part of the country to watch my grandsons compete in a human-powered vehicle race, and what was I going to say? And we couldn't get any camping spots at all, so we went to a place about 20 k's up further north, which was near here, and we got a spot here, and they had a pizza night, and all the guys there were all detecting guys. And they were all showing us their gold, and we looked at each other. We could be doing this, and this is how it happened. So we camped around here for about 5 years, and then we ended up shifting here. So that's how we ended up here. So ON8 EI VK3CQC, over.
Yeah, Roger on that, Peter. VK3CQC ON8EI for ID. Yeah, that's amazing. It reminds me of. I don't know if you ever saw a program from the UK. It was called Only Fools and Horses. And he used to always say, this time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires. Over.
Yes, well, you can always hope, John. Well, anyhow, it's too late for me to worry about it now. Like I say, I'm turning 80. I wouldn't know what to do with it. Well, I would really. I do know what I would do with it, but it's not really that necessary. Like I say, we just like doing just quietly doing our stuff, and just having a coffee, and then maybe sit down for a while and do a bit more, and do whatever needs doing. John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it's something to look forward to. I'm not sure if it's like playing the lotto. I don't play the lotto. My mother always played it, and but you never know. Maybe tomorrow you'll hit the big one. Over.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is having to dig it out, John. It's getting hard for me to dig it out. We also spend a fair bit of time getting firewood for the winter. So that's what I've been doing today. I've been splitting wood, which I've cut over the last couple of weeks. I've cut a lot of wood, and we're allowed to get some out of designated areas. for a couple of months, and then we go and get it, and then I have to split it and store it, and I'm mainly cutting for next year. This year's I've got sorted out, and it should be nice and dry. And once we start the fire, which is usually about this time of the year, but we've had unusually warm summer. It's been 25 degrees C today, and it's it's the 24th of April. It's just amazing, and we can't believe it. So ON8 Echo India VK3CQC over.
Yeah, Roger on that, Peter. And they say about wood, wood will keep you warm 3 times. Did you know that, over?
I've been hearing that story since I was 12 years old. It nearly makes me throw up, John.
Yeah, well, we don't want any of that. But for anyone listening, cutting it down warms you up. Drying and splitting warms you up. And when you put it in the stove, it warms you up, over?
I know all about that. I used to come home from school, and my dad used to say, get on the other end of this saw. And we used to have one of those hand cross-cut saws, and we used to cut the wood, and we used to hear that story time and time again. John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it's like my children who listen to me, even my wife. I'm guilty of telling all those stories over and over again, just like your dad, over?
Well, it's we did it for a long time, and then we got big circular saws, and then now I just have a chainsaw, a reasonable size one, a reasonable size chainsaw. I'll take about 3 chains with me, and I've got a log splitter here, a hydraulic log splitter to make it easy, and the only hard thing I have is having to lift the blocks, John, over.
Yeah, Roger, well, funny you should say all that. I also have the splitter, and I have a little chair that I sit down, and the important one to do, and maybe yours is static, my one is on wheels, but is never forget to open the air cap, over?
To open the what, over?
Yeah, well, at the back of mine, where the oil, you have to put, I've never put it in, but this is so when you're moving it that the oil doesn't spill out, you have to open it up so that it can breathe a little bit when you're using it, and then when you want to move it somewhere else, you close it again, over?
Oh, well, I don't know about that one. I just checked the oil in the engine, and the hydraulic oil has a tank, and it has a breather in it, and I do have to tie a stick to the end of the splitter so that I can see it in the rear vision mirror of my car, and then I back it to wherever I want it. So on wheels also. Yes, I don't like the upright one. I can convert it to upright, but it's just easier to do it the other way. But it's just lifting. Some of the logs are a bit big. You can get both your arms around them, and then I leave them now, and I cut them in half and lengthways, and then make them easier to lift. John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, I'm only a small fry in that one. Mine is just an electric one that I have in my shed, and I bring out when I need it. What brand of chainsaw do you use, over?
Oh, it's known as Stihl. I don't know if you know the name. Stihl, STIHL, I think, over.
Yeah, well, I have the same. I have the same brand. In fact, I have other things, for cutting hedges, and I even have a long boom still, over.
Oh yes, and I paid a fair bit of money for it when I bought it. It must be about 4 years old now, but it's got one of those springy starts. You pull the ropes, and then it sort of delays, and then the spring catches up, and it goes, and then it just starts. It's just great. Well, so I reckon that's the best idea, John, over.
Yeah. That sounds good. No, my one is I think it could be nearly 20 years old. But I suppose you sharpen your own chains, over.
Yes, I sharpen them nearly every time I go out. I take, because if it's dry wood and it's dry, well, you know, I take an old horse float with us, a whole horse trailer, and we throw it in there, and by the time Jenny helps me and she helps to put it in, and then but by the time we finish and we've done a lot of cuts, I don't like to get the sword too blunt. I like them nice and sharp so that it cuts easy. John, over?
Yeah, Roger. Well, I always make sure it's sharp, and also before I start, always the chain oil is topped up, and of course the petrol, over.
Oh yes, well, I usually have to fill up halfway between cuts, and I fill the oil every time I fill the petrol, and I take fuel with me, and I take oil with me, and like I say, I take a couple of chains if I need them, because some of the cracks in the wood, you know, they got dirt in them, and once you run it through dirt, well, you know what happens, you know, it takes the edge off the saw, but they're going all right. It's good. So I don't mind it. It's quite relaxing here, really. But everything's getting heavy, but it's relaxing. John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you're under no pressure. You just do as you feel. Now, I wonder, did you ever hear, or maybe your dad told you about, and I'm not sure if they're down in good old VK, but I'll just say what we call them here. Are you familiar with the speck stain stove, over?
Speck stain stove? No, I don't know. No, over. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it's a stove that is covered in blue stone, and everywhere is blue stone. You let it rip for about 4 hours, and then you'll get about 20 hours of heat, over.
Oh, okay, and you run it 4 hours, and then you get 20 hours of heat. Is this electric or wood, over?
Oh, negative. No, it's a wooden stove, but it's covered in blue stone. Blue stone. Maybe you've heard of blue stone. You'll find those stoves. We have them in Belgium. I'm sure they're in Holland. They're very popular in the Nordic countries, and also in North America. Some people have them. They're very heavy, over.
Oh yes, well I know about bluestone. Yes, they crush it here and put it on the road, and it's very, very hard. But I do know what you're talking about. We had a electric system here for a while where you heated it at night. This stone stove, and you heated it at night at a cheap rate, and then during the day you could, it had a fan in it, and then it would blow warm air for the rest of the day, over.
Yeah, I remember my auntie in Ireland had it, and we referred to it as a storage heater, over.
Ah, very good, yes. Oh, well. Okay, John. Well, I'm just about running out of things to say, so I might have to call it whatever. And you can have the frequency if you want, and I might close it down. John, over to you.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I hope I haven't tired you out, over.
No, it's been most enjoyable, and I really enjoyed the QSO. So hopefully we'll meet up again. I will keep an ear out for you, and if I do, well, I'll call in. So all the best, and an honor bester from here in Australia and tot de volgende keer. ON8 Echo India VK3CQC, over.
Ja, bedankt voor de mooie babbel. Ik spreek heel lang op de radio. Ik spreek niet veel voor de... Ik ben geen voorstander voor de 5-9 QSO's. Liever de lange QSO met interessante mensen. Bedankt voor de babbel. VK3 Charlie, Quebec Charlie. Oscar November, Act Echo India. Groetjes van België. Tot de volgende keer, over.
Hartelijk bedankt, John. Ja, tot de volgende keer en tot ziens. ON8, EI, VK3CQC going clear. Cheers.
Ja, Roger. Slaap well, Peter, over.
Dank u wel.
VK3CQC.